Take a moment to look at your circle, the people you've bailed out, the ones you've defended, and the ones who only call you when their world is on fire. You think you're being a hero, you think your loyalty is a badge of honor, but in the cold reality of human nature, you aren't a hero, you are a target. You are currently funding the very chaos that is currently draining your bank account, your focus, and your reputation. Most people are not looking for a way out. They are looking for a way to use you as a safety net, while they continue the behaviors that ruined them in the first place. Machiavelli warned that he who is the cause of another becoming powerful is the ruin of himself. But even worse is the man who exhausts his own power, trying to save those who are biologically programmed to fail. Every time you extend your hand to the wrong person, you aren't lifting them up, you are giving them a tether to pull you under. You've felt it before, haven't you? That hollow, bitter sensation when someone you saved suddenly turns cold the moment they no longer need you, or worse, when they use the very resources you gave them to sabotage your position. This isn't bad luck. This is the predictable outcome of misplaced generosity. You are being used because you are readable, you are predictable, and you are far too available. In this video, we are going to strip away the moral delusions that are making you a target. We are going to identify the 6 people you must never help. We aren't here to talk about kindness. We are here to talk about survival. If you want to stop being a stepping stone for the ungrateful and a safety net for the reckless, pay close attention. By the time we are done, you will know exactly who to cut loose, who to ignore, and why your no is the most powerful tool in your arsenal. Listen carefully. The first person you must never help, no matter how loud they scream, is this. 1. The professional victim. You know exactly who this is. They are the person who only ever reaches out when their world is ending. It's always an emergency. It's always someone else's fault. And somehow, it's always your problem to fix. You think you're being a good friend or a loyal sibling. You aren't. You are being a host. You are currently providing a life support system for a person who has made a career out of being broken. Here is the harsh truth you are refusing to see. The professional victim doesn't actually want a solution. They want a witness. They don't want a way out. They want to drag you into the mud so they don't have to sit in it alone. Notice what happens when you give them the exact answer to their problem. They don't take it. Instead, they give you a list of yeah buts. Yeah, but you don't understand. Yeah, but it's not that simple. It is that simple. They just prefer the attention they get from failing over the effort it takes to succeed. They have realized that being helpless is the ultimate power move. It forces everyone around them to work twice as hard to keep them afloat. They have an excuse for why every bridge you build is too high to cross. If you give them money to pay a bill, they spend it on a luxury to cheer themselves up from their trauma. If you connect them with a job, they find a reason why the boss is toxic before they even finish the first week. You think you are helping them climb out of a pit. In reality, you are just providing the padding so they can stay in the pit comfortably while you do all the heavy lifting. Machiavelli understood that power is either generated from within or stolen from without. The professional victim is a master of the latter. They have realized that in a world of good people like you, weakness is a weapon. By being the most broken person in the room, they command the most attention. They force you to rearrange your schedule, your finances, and your mental peace to accommodate their latest emergency. They are not suffering from bad luck. They are practicing a high-level form of social manipulation. They have turned their incompetence into a full-time job, and you are the one paying their salary with your life force. Think about the resentment building in your chest every time their name pops up on your phone. That is your intuition screaming at you that you are being farmed. You are being used as a battery to power a life that refuses to spark on its own. The moment you stop saving them, they won't suddenly learn to swim. They will simply look for a new swimmer to climb on top of. They don't value your sacrifice. They value your availability. The harsh truth is that by helping them, you are actually committing an act of cruelty. You are robbing them of the only thing that could ever save them, the cold, hard floor of reality. As long as you are there to catch them, they have zero incentive to change. You are subsidizing their rot. You are the reason they are still stuck. If you truly want to be good, you must be cold. You must step back and let the fire of their own consequences burn. It is the only way they will ever learn to put it out themselves. Stop being a utility. Stop being the emergency contact for someone who creates their own emergencies. The moment you stop feeding the fire, it will either go out or they will finally learn how to use a fire extinguisher. Either way, you are no longer the one getting burned. If they choose to stay in the ashes, let them. You are not a rehabilitation center for people who refuse to work on themselves. You are an empire builder, and an empire cannot be built on a foundation of other people's self-inflicted rubble. You are currently a character in their play, and your only role is to keep the tragedy running. When you stop playing your part, the play ends, and it must end, because as dangerous as the professional victim is, they are merely a drain on your energy. There is a different kind of threat lurking in your circle, one that doesn't just drain you, but actively infects you. While the victim stays in their pit, this next person is moving, and everywhere they go, disaster follows like a shadow. They are a walking biohazard to your success. If you don't learn how to spot the sinking ship before you tie your boat to theirs, you won't just be tired, you will be underwater. 2. The sinking ship. Take a look at the unlucky person in your life. You know exactly who they are. They are the person who is always in the wrong place at the wrong time. Every job they take ends in a misunderstanding. Every relationship they enter is toxic. Every investment they make just happened to fail. They describe their life as a series of accidents, and they come to you for help because you have the stability they lack. You feel sorry for them. You think you're being a protector, but you are ignoring the most dangerous law of human nature. Misfortune is often contagious. Most people aren't unfortunate. They are chaotic. They make 1,000 tiny invisible decisions every day that invite disaster. They ignore the red flags in their relationships. They oversleep for the big meeting. They forget to pay the fine until the police show up. And then when the roof finally caves in, they call you to help them hold up the beams. You think you are being a hero by jumping into the water to save them. You think your strength is enough to keep both of you afloat. You are wrong. Machiavelli warned that you must never associate with the chronically unhappy or the unlucky, because their misfortune is contagious. When you help a sinking ship, you aren't just giving them your money or your time, you are giving them your reputation. In the eyes of the world, you are who you associate with. If you are constantly seen cleaning up the messes of a loser, the world will eventually start treating you like one. You are becoming a magnet for the same bad luck that follows them. The sinking ship is not a victim of bad luck. They are a victim of their own character. They possess a hidden subconscious drive to destroy everything they touch. They are the person who brings a dark, heavy energy into a room that ruins the mood before they even speak. If you let them into your life, their bad luck will start to rub off on you. Suddenly your car starts breaking down. Your business deals start falling through. Your mental clarity begins to fog. This isn't a coincidence. It is the physics of association. You are absorbing the chaos they emit. Think about the last time you tried to fix this person's situation. You gave them a place to stay, or you lent them your car, or you introduced them to a valuable contact. What happened? They didn't use your help to get ahead. They used it to spread their failure. They crashed the car. They burned the bridge with your contact. They turned your home into a war zone. This is because a sinking ship does not want to be saved. They want to be accompanied. They find comfort in the wreckage, and they want you down there in the mud with them, so they don't have to feel alone in their incompetence. The harsh truth is that some people are simply unfortunate by design. They are governed by a spirit of self-sabotage that is more powerful than any advice or money you can give them. Machiavelli and the masters of power knew that you must shun the unlucky. You cannot help someone who is fundamentally broken at the core of their judgment. When you try to rescue a sinking ship, you aren't being a hero, you are being a fool. You are attaching your legacy to a weight that is destined for the bottom of the ocean. Look at your own life. Have you noticed that since you started helping this person, your own progress has stalled? Have you noticed that you spend more time talking about their problems than building your own dreams? That is the suction of the sinking ship. It is pulling you away from your purpose. You are wasting your virtue, your drive, and your power on a black hole of failure. You are trading your future for their past. You must develop the cold-blooded discipline to cut the rope. You are not a coast guard for people who refuse to plug the holes in their own hull. If they are drowning, let them drown. It sounds cruel, but it is the only way to save yourself. The world is full of people who actually want to win. Why are you spending your limited energy on someone who has already decided to lose? Stop being the safety net for a person who is jumping off the cliff on purpose. Turn your back, walk away, and don't look back until you are miles away from the splash. You need to understand the concept of secondary risk. When you help someone who is a disaster, you inherit their enemies, their debts, and their bad energy. If you let a sinking ship sleep on your couch, you bring their chaos into your sanctuary. If you vouch for them at work, you put your professional name on the line for someone who doesn't even value their own. You are gambling with your life to save someone who has already decided to lose. This isn't compassion, it's a strategic suicide. The sinking ship is a disaster. You can see coming. They are loud, messy, and obvious. But the next person we are going to expose is far more sinister because they look like a winner. They are sitting right next to you, smiling at your jokes and nodding at your plans. They aren't unlucky and they aren't helpless. In fact, they look exactly like your biggest supporter. But behind that smile is a calculated, burning resentment that is waiting for the perfect moment to pull the rug out from under you. If you don't learn how to spot the help that is actually a trap, you will hand the keys to your kingdom to your greatest enemy. You are currently feeding a snake that is just waiting for you to fall asleep. 3. The envious competitor. Look at the person who is always just one step behind you. The one who asks for your secrets, your contacts, or your feedback, but never seems to celebrate when you actually win. You think you're being a mentor. You think you're paying it forward or building a loyal alliance. In reality, you are training your own replacement. You are handing the blueprints of your fortress to someone whose only goal is to occupy it. The envious competitor is the most dangerous person in your inner circle because they don't look like an enemy. They look like a student, a struggling friend, or a supportive peer. But listen to the way they talk when you share good news. There is always a but. There is always a subtle reminder of how lucky you got, or a quick pivot to their own problems. They don't want your help to grow. They want your help to shrink the gap between you and them. They aren't looking to build their own mountain. They are looking for the best way to push you off yours. Machiavelli understood that men are more likely to forgive the person who kills their father than the person who makes them feel inferior. By helping this person, you are inadvertently reminding them of everything they lack. Every time you give them a hand up, you are fueling their resentment. They don't feel grateful. They feel humiliated by your generosity. They see your help as a display of power, and they will spend every waking hour figuring out how to neutralize that power. You are currently teaching a snake how to bite, and you're surprised when you feel the venom. Think about the times you've introduced this person to your high-level contacts or shared your proprietary methods. Did they use that information to help you, or did they immediately try to build a direct line that bypasses you? This is the shadow strike. They use your resources to build a rival empire while pretending to be your loyal number two. They are waiting for the moment you slip, the moment you show weakness, or the moment you get tired. And because you've given them all your data, they know exactly where to hit you, so it hurts the most. The harsh truth is that your ego is what's keeping them around. You like feeling like the expert. You like being the one with the answers. But your vanity is blinding you to the predator in the room. You are feeding a wolf at your table and calling it a pet. Stop sharing your how-to. Stop giving away your leverage for free. If they were truly capable of reaching your level, they wouldn't need you to carry them there. By carrying them, you are merely providing them with a free ride to the finish line where they plan to beat you. In the world of power, information is the only real currency. When you help an envious competitor, you are committing a massive security breach. You are telling them where you hide the keys, how you manage your stress, and what your next move is. You are making yourself predictable. And in any conflict, the predictable person is the one who loses. Cut the mentorship, stop the collaboration. If they want what you have, make them earn it in the dirt, just like you did. Your kindness isn't helping them, it's insulting the struggle you went through to get where you are. You need to understand the concept of strategic scarcity. Your help should be a rare, expensive resource, not a free sample for anyone who smiles at you. When you give away your best insights to a competitor, you are devaluing yourself. You are telling them and the world that your hard-earned power is cheap. If they want what you have, let them bleed for it the same way you did. Let them stay in the dark until they figure out how to turn on their own light. If you provide the light for them, don't be surprised when they use it to find the best place to stab you in the back. The moment you sense that someone is measuring their life against yours, you must cut off the supply. No more advice, no more introductions, no more favors. Let them build their own ladder. If they are truly as talented as they claim to be, they won't need your shortcuts. If they aren't, then you've just prevented a parasite from infecting your legacy. Your success is a private fortress. Don't give the map to anyone who looks at your walls and wonders how they would look with their name on them. You think the competitor is a threat because they want your position. That's just business. The next person we are going to expose is much worse because they don't just want your job, they want your soul. This person doesn't hide in the shadows, they stand in the spotlight, wrapped in the cloak of morality and virtue. They are the loudest voices for justice and charity, but they are the most hollow people you will ever meet. They don't use daggers, they use reputation to destroy you. You are currently backing someone who will throw you to the wolves the second it makes them look like a saint. You are building a platform for a person who plans to use it as a gallows for your character. You need to know how to spot the public saint before they make you the public sinner. 4. The moral narcissist. Look at the person who only helps when there is a camera, a crowd, or a story to be told. They are the first to post about their charity on social media and the last to actually pick up a shovel when the work gets dirty. They wrap themselves in the flag of virtue, using moral language to make themselves look untouchable. This is the moral narcissist, and they are using you as a prop in their personal theater. The harsh truth is that the moral narcissist doesn't have a heart. They have a brand. They seek your help or your partnership because your genuine reputation provides them with the cover they need. They want to be seen standing next to you because you are the real deal. They are the ones who will volunteer you for a project just so they can claim they managed it. They are the ones who will ask you to donate to their cause so they can present the big check with their name on it. They are loyal only to the image of goodness, and the moment your presence no longer polishes that image, they will discard you like a piece of trash. Think about the friend who always makes sure everyone knows how much they've done for you. They don't give gifts, they give debts. They use kindness as a leash to keep you obedient. The moment you disagree with them or try to set a boundary, they flip the script. Suddenly you are ungrateful. They will go to your social circle and play the martyr, crying about how much they sacrificed for you. They don't want you to succeed. They want you to be a permanent exhibit in their gallery of people I've saved. Think about the last time you partnered with this person or helped them finish a task. Who took the credit? Who made sure to mention their leadership to the boss while you were in the background doing the heavy lifting? The moral narcissist treats your labor like raw material for their reputation. They will suck you dry of your ideas and your effort, and then they will frame the final result as a testament to their character. If you dare to ask for recognition, they will paint you as petty or unsupportive. They weaponize morality to keep you in a state of submissive silence. The moment your association with them becomes problematic or no longer serves their public narrative, they will execute a public distancing that will leave your head spinning. They will be the first to throw a stone at you to prove to the crowd how pure they are. They have no loyalty to you because they are only loyal to the mirror. By helping them build their platform, you are just building the gallows they will eventually use to hang you if it gets them a few more likes or a bit more social leverage. You are currently funding a fraud. Every time you help a moral narcissist, you are giving them a higher pedestal to look down on you from. You are providing the labor for a monument they are building to themselves. Machiavelli noted that it is much safer to be feared than loved, but the moral narcissist wants to be loved, so they can manipulate the room without ever looking like the aggressor. If you stay in their orbit, you will eventually be sacrificed. When they mess up, they will blame you to protect their virtue. When things go well, you will be erased from the credits. Stop feeding their ego with your effort. True virtue is silent. Anyone who screams about their goodness is usually trying to drown out the sound of their own rot. 5. The secret agent. Now look at the information broker in your circle. This is the person who always has the inside scoop on everyone's business. They come to you with a whisper, telling you secrets they shouldn't be sharing about your friends, your boss, or your rivals. They make you feel like you're part of an exclusive club. They ask for your take on a situation, or they ask for your help understanding a conflict. This is the secret agent, and they are the most efficient reputation killers in existence. Here is the cold reality. A person who brings you dirt is currently digging a hole for you. The secret agent doesn't value your friendship. They value your data. They seek your help or your advice as a way to bait you into saying something they can pawn off to someone else. Information is their currency. They trade what you tell them in confidence to gain favor with people you are trying to compete with. They are the reason private conversations suddenly become public knowledge. They aren't helping you navigate the social landscape. They are mapping your vulnerabilities for the highest bidder. Think about the innocent questions they ask. What do you think of the new project? Or, are you actually happy with how things are going? They aren't interested in your feelings. They are fishing for quotes. The moment you vent to them, that vent becomes a leak. By helping this person stay in your inner circle, you are inviting a spy into your war room. You are ensuring that you will never have a moment of genuine peace because you are always wondering who is talking about you, not realizing that the person warning you is the one doing the talking. Every time you help this person by engaging in their gossip or sharing your own frustrations, you are handing them a loaded gun. You are giving them the intelligence they need to destroy your relationships from the inside out. They thrive on the he said, she said chaos because it makes them the center of attention. They don't have their own power, so they steal yours by controlling what people think of you. They are social arsonists who start fires just so they can be the ones to save you from the flames. Think about the last time you shared a frustration or a secret with this person. Within 48 hours, did the energy in the room shift? Did people start looking at you differently? That wasn't a coincidence. The secret agent uses your help to gain access to your inner thoughts. Then they repackage those thoughts to make themselves look important. They thrive on chaos because chaos creates a demand for their news. If there is peace, they will create a misunderstanding just to have something to report. They are a social parasite that feeds on the friction between people. By helping this person, by giving them your time, your trust, or your inside info, you are handing them the keys to your destruction. You think you're being vulnerable or honest. You are actually being a fool. In the world of power, silence is your fortress, and information is your ammo. Why would you give your ammo to someone who has already shown you they are a mercenary? Machiavelli warned that he who is the cause of another becoming powerful is the ruin of himself. Every time you help the secret agent by giving them a piece of the puzzle, you are completing the picture they will use to hang you. You must implement a total information blackout. When the secret agent approaches you with news, meet them with a blank face and a clinical lack of interest. Do not ask follow-up questions. Do not offer your opinion. Do not help them understand the situation. The moment they realize you are a dead end for information, they will move on to a weaker target. You aren't being antisocial, you are being anti-sabotage. You are protecting the perimeter of your reputation from a person who views your life as nothing more than raw material for their next social transaction. Stop talking. Stop being the source. The moment you stop giving the secret agent something to sell, they will move on to a new victim. They have no loyalty to you, they are only loyal to the scoop. If you want to know who the secret agent is, look for the person who is everyone's friend but no one's confidant. They are the bridge that everyone walks across but no one wants to live on. Cut the connection. Let them find their news somewhere else. Your reputation is too expensive to be used as small talk for a snake. You have identified the performers and the spies. You have seen how people use virtue and information to strip you of your power, but we are moving toward the final, most unforgivable category. This last person is the ultimate test of your intelligence. If you help this person, you aren't just a victim, you are an accomplice in your own tragedy. This person has already shown you exactly who they are. They have already committed the ultimate sin against you. Most people help them out of a misplaced sense of mercy or growth, but in the Machiavellian world, mercy toward a predator is a death wish for the prey. You are about to learn why second chances are usually just a second opportunity for someone to finish what they started. 6. The proven traitor. We come at last to the final and most dangerous person on your list, the one you are most likely to help, and the one most likely to destroy you for doing so. This is the person who has already betrayed you. They lied, they stole, they slandered your name, or they abandoned you when the stakes were at their highest. But now they are back. They've come to you with a humbled voice, a story of growth, and a request for a second chance. They are counting on your sentimentality, your guilt, and your good heart to override your intelligence. Here is the cold-blooded reality. Betrayal is not an accident, it is a character trait. In the Machiavellian view, a man who has betrayed you once has already completed the psychological work required to do it again. The first time they crossed that line, they had to justify it to themselves. They had to decide that your pain was a fair price to pay for their gain. Once that seal is broken, it can never be truly repaired. By helping a proven traitor, you aren't being forgiving, you are being a masochist. You are telling them that your boundaries are negotiable and that your loyalty is so cheap it can be bought back with a few tears and a hollow apology. Think about why you want to help them. Is it because you truly believe they've changed? Or is it because you are afraid to admit that someone you cared about is actually a predator? Most people offer second chances because they are too weak to live with the finality of a broken relationship. They want the old version of the person back, but that person never existed. The version that betrayed you is the real one. Everything else was just the costume they wore until the moment they didn't need you anymore. When you help a traitor, you aren't saving them, you are replenishing their supplies so they can survive long enough to strike you again. The harsh truth is that you are teaching them how to finish the job. The first time they betrayed you, they learned where your defenses were. They learned exactly how much you would tolerate and what excuses you were willing to believe. By letting them back in, you are giving them insider access to your life, with the benefit of their previous experience. You are handing the thief the new codes to the vault, because he promised he's found religion. It is a strategic failure of the highest order. Human nature is fundamentally driven by self-interest. If a person betrayed you when things were difficult, they will do it again the moment the wind changes direction. To help them is to volunteer for the next round of pain. You aren't being the bigger person. You are being the easier target. We have conducted a forensic audit of your life. We have exposed the professional victim, the sinking ship, the envious competitor, the moral narcissist, the secret agent, and the proven traitor. You now see the faces of the people who have been draining your reservoir of power. The question is, what are you going to do about it? Understanding these archetypes is useless if you don't have the stomach to enforce the consequences. You have been socialized to believe that helping is always good, but you now know that misplaced generosity is the shortest path to ruin. You cannot build an empire if you are constantly using your bricks to patch the holes in someone else's sinking ship. Your time, your focus, and your resources are your patrimony. They are the only things that will ensure your survival and your dominance in a world that is designed to consume you. If you have felt the weight of these truths, if you realize that your kindness has actually been a form of self-sabotage, then it is time to shift your frequency. Align yourself with this message by liking this video and subscribing to the channel. This isn't for the sake of the algorithm. It is a signal to yourself that you are done being a utility for the incompetent and the malicious. By subscribing, you are committing to a life of strategic precision. You are choosing to be a predator of opportunity, not a victim of sentiment. For those of you who realize that these 6 archetypes are only the surface, those who want the deeper, darker mechanics of human control, the path forward is through the inner circle. Click the join button below to enter our chamber of sovereignty. This is where we discuss the high-level moves that are too dangerous for the general public. We break down the psychology of influence, the architecture of status, and the brutal laws of social leverage. While the masses are out there getting drained by victims and gossips, the members of the inner circle are learning how to move the pieces on the board. Do not stay on the outside watching others advance. Secure your place inside. Thank you for the discipline of your attention. You have stayed until the end, which proves you have the rare ability to face uncomfortable truths without flinching. That discipline is your greatest edge. Do not lose it. Go out and audit your circle. Identify the drains, the snakes, and the sinking ships. And when they reach out for that one last favor, remember what you learned here. Look them in the eye, say nothing, and let the silence do the work. Your life belongs to you. Stop giving it away for free.